Good afternoon and welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for an inside scoop. It's a big, long update, so I'm going to try and mash it in as quickly as I can so I don't take too much of your time up. So I hope you enjoy the video. The usual stuff, guys. Smash the thumbs up button, please. Over 2,000 people watch a video, you get 100 odd likes. Let's get the likes with the views, guys. I really would appreciate it. It makes a huge difference. That's all I want to say on it, if you don't mind. It'll make my day seeing those thumbs up. And comments, I'd love to interact with you guys, what you think, whether you think it's rubbish, whether you think it's good, whether you think it's average. Please drop a comment, and I'm always happy, as long as you're respectful, to interact with absolutely anybody. That's what this channel is about, made by fans, for the fans. For 7 days only, guys, price has been dropped on these badges. Nothing to do with me, remember. I don't receive any money for this or anything for the badges, but £30 for the badges. So if anyone is interested, please, that's including delivery, by the way, please drop me a message on Twitter or drop me a message via the email addresses in the description below. You can grab yourself a badge, a crest, indoors, outdoor use, absolutely beautiful they are, for £30 as well. I can't believe he's dropped the price that low. They're normally 40, but he obviously wants to get them off his hands. There's about 20 left, so first come, first serve, so grab one while you can. I promise you, they are worth it. And the final one to ask is obviously hit the subscribe button as well, guys. Hit the bell button and select all so you know when the channel's live. And thank you to everyone who's been doing that and hitting the thumbs up. Honestly, it melts my heart. It really does. So where do you want to start, guys? I think we should start with outgoings first. Let's get the rubbish stuff out the way, is what I like to call it, because we know we've got rubbish that wants to leave. So before we get into the good stuff, we'll talk about some outgoings. So first one, Leeds have submitted a loan bid for Chris Wood and it was rejected. So that doesn't really surprise me. We're not going to loan Chris Wood out, are we? If we're going to sell him, we've got to get some money in and then replace him, haven't we? So that's not going to happen. Now, this is a shock one. This is come out of the blue. I wasn't expecting to read this in the message. But Man U want Callum Wilson, and they're willing to pay 35 million for him, but Eddie Howe will not sell him. So that is very interesting. Man United obviously want a striker, but it reminds me of Andy Cole again, all over again. In the winter window when Newcastle are doing so well, Man United came in, bought Andy Cole, and we dropped down the league. We cannot afford for that to happen again, and we don't want to be selling to our rivals. So Man United can do one. As much as Callum Wilson is injury prone, I don't want to see him going there at all. Now, yeah, what he was at Man United early in his career, I just don't want to see it happen. I don't know about you guys, but let me know below. 2 loan Spanish moves made for Javi Mancur. One will be green lighted once a new right back understudy comes in, and we all know that's going to be Ashby, don't we? That deal is, again, I'll come to it a little bit later with incomings, but Jamal Lewis is going out on loan in January. There are 6 clubs interested, 5 championship clubs and 1 Premier League club. So he's got plenty of suitors, and he needs to play football, doesn't he? So if it's a loan and it's not a buy, that's a bit of a shame, because he could get us a decent amount of money, I thought. But yeah, there's loads, guys. I'm sorry. Garan Cool will come to the club early January. Eddie Howe wants to test him out in training and get him whipped into shape. If he's good enough to stay and play a part of the setup, he will. If not, he will go out on loan at the end of Jan. So he's going to spend 3 weeks with the first 11 team. They're obviously going to work really hard on getting him a work permit. If he can't get it, he definitely goes out on loan. If he can get a work permit and he shines and he gets up to speed with the first 11 in the squad, there's a chance he could stay, which is very interesting. NUFC and Man United FC discussing Dub's deal. It's not dead yet. That's a bit of a strange one. I thought that was dead and buried, to be honest with you, but good riddance. Get rid of him. Leicester, Palace and Bournemouth are also interested in Dubravka. I would like to see him be part of the Maddison deal, to be honest with you. But there we go. Villa, Forest, Bournemouth and Leeds asking about Lascelles. Eddie wants to keep him until the summer, but want to watch. Now, this is one where I know he's not good enough where we're going to, but however, what an influential figure he's been in the background with the squad, club captain, captains when he plays most of the time. And then it leaves us short in that right-sided centre-back position if he leaves because there's nobody else to come in. So I think wait until the summer is a good move where we can replace him as well because Shaw is getting on a little bit as well. So difficult one. Depending on the fee, we don't want to leave ourselves light. That's the only thing I worry about. Matty Longstaff returned to NUFC for assessment and treatment as he was stretched off with the knee injury suspected ACL. Player to undergo more tests and scans. He will recover at NUFC. NUFC aiming to get the player fit for him to find a new club in the summer. That's really nice of her to do that as well, to be fair. No new deal offered. Player will be released. So he'd be, he's got up till the end of the season to get himself fit and ready using the Newcastle United structure with his contract. And then, he'll be released to find a new club. So other players that have been told to find clubs are Fraser, Ritchie, Hendrick, Dummett, Gillespie, Javi Mancua, and Dubs. They're all the players that could leave. And bearing in mind, Gillespie not needed, Dummett not in the squad, Hendrick's not in the squad. There's 3 of them there that aren't even in the squad, so they can go. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to put a dent in our squad numbers. Dubs is not in the squad either, so makes all sense. All players' agents are active finding them clubs. If it happens in Jan, club will allow them to leave. If not, they'll mostly likely leave in the summer. And just to let you know, this was the end message because I've gone with the outgoings first, which was the last part of the message. You put, this is player info and 2 agent info mashed into one big report. Can't tell you where it's come from. Some of this info will come out in the coming days and you'll look like a legend. I don't want to look like a legend. I just want to bring you guys raw material and really good information. That's the idea of it. So we can all talk about it in the comments and we can all know what's going on. And again, some of it might not come to light, but at least, it's coming from a good place. That's the idea of it. So I really do hope you enjoy these videos. So before we get into the incoming side of things, there's a lot of that to go through. Just a reminder, subscribe, bell button, thumbs up, please, guys. Come on, if this gets 1,000 views, let's have 1,000 thumbs up. Something along those lines. I'll get close to those numbers. That would be amazing. And don't forget, guys, £30. I can't believe he's selling these for £30. So please contact me via Twitter or via the email addresses below. Powder coated metal crests, indoors, outdoor use. Absolutely brilliant. Should see some of the views from on Twitter, the people who have bought them already, people who have bought them watching these shows. 20 left, first come, first serve, guys. So please contact me ASAP to get one. And I promise you, it'll be worth the wait, especially with raw mail at the moment. Right. Incomings. NUFC very active in the transfer window. They want to bring in 3 players. 2 out of the 3 are for the first 11. Must improve the side. So there's no point in buying just to improve the squad. They want players who are going to improve the side, which then because of that improves the bench. Blah 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 blah. There will be some under 21 players come in, but not for senior side setup. Transfer meetings have been held on more than one occasion, and the pool of players is growing. It's all about testing the water and finding out the right deal for us and, of course, the right players. That's why we have been linked to a lot of players at the moment. So the main target hasn't changed. It is still James Maddison. Now, I'm getting a bit worried about the Maddison situation because of his injury and what Brendan Rodgers has been saying. But this has put me right back to he's coming. NUFC to submit a 60-65 million no negotiation deal to Leicester, 1 payment up front. So there's none of this, we'll pay you this much now, this much then. Player wants to move. He's told his close friends and family. Agents are telling NUFC for pursuit with the bid. Players willing to hand in a transfer request to force the move, but doesn't want to do this if it can be prevented, which is nice. I mean, I don't want to see him go on strike and all this sort of stuff like Kabay did and other players have done in the past with other clubs. I don't like it. Take no notice of Brendan Rodgers. There's a chance, and I'll say it now, the club is to sell James Maddison, and Brendan will resign or come to deal with Leicester owners, as there's been talks of him seeking a new manager. Now, again, Brendan Rodgers, I mean, he's done a decent job recently, hasn't he? Gotten them out of the relegation zone, but they still look like he's fighting with players. He doesn't seem to be getting the best out of them. Tillerman's obviously one of them as well. And they would have sacked him if it wasn't for the closing his contract. He gets 10 million or something like that. So it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting. Rumours of James Maddison travelling to London for a 2-part medical are circulating. NUFC paying to get the player tested out before they spend big on him. So it's not an injury. It's actually us, apparently, doing the testing, which is unbelievable news if it's right. Him not being allowed to play against NUFC and others could indicate the deal is advanced. Don't want to see our big, massive money signing play in a game and get injured before we can actually sign them. So there you go. Agent-to-agent talks have taken place with the following players: Mudryk, Maximo Perron, Andres Santos, Yuri Tillemans, Moses Caicedo, Ivan Falsenineltd. Falsenineltd? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. Jonathan David. These are all inquiries only. So there's no offer being put in. It's not that we're advanced or even making a bid, or it's just that little knock on the door. Is he available? So it's a little inquiry, testing the water to see if they're available and what sort of prices the clubs would sell and wages would be. There's a short list of players. Now, this is an exciting one for me, an exciting one for a lot of you fans of this show who comment a lot. The RB inquiry has been made again. Club have positive vibes from early contact. So that is very interesting. The RB could be back on, guys. We have submitted a loan with an obligation on Joe Felix. Remember when I said a few weeks ago, the way to get Joe Felix through the door would be to potentially loan him now. And when the big money comes in the summer, we should be able to afford to buy him. So not maybe an obligation to buy or an option to buy or something along those lines. It could happen, guys. It really could. Ashby is 95% deal complete, undisclosed fee. Ashworth wants a new young right back in. Other links are Cody Durama, as we know about, and Ivan Fensenda and Malo Gusto. And then it goes on. Yes, we are in the running for Marcus Thuram, but I've also been keeping an eye on his brother. Milan have submitted a €5 million bid for the player, and wages are 150k. If NUFC enter the race, the player will only cost about 5-8 million and 150k per week. And he's a 6'4" DM, I believe, defensive midfielder, so he's worth looking into. And the last one on the list is Jorginho. It's not happening. He's not a player we're looking at. It's not going to happen. I mean, it might happen in the summer on a free, but in the January window, Chelsea won't sell to Newcastle. That's why Pulisic has gone very, very quiet. They see us as a Champions League threat. They don't want to strengthen us. Can't blame them, especially after we beat them. But Jorginho is not going to happen. Pulisic isn't going to happen either, which I'm devastated about. But that's it, guys. That's the update. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a massive one. Like I said, there's a lot of information in there. Please drop me any comments or questions that you would like to ask or like to know or want to just discuss what I've said. But I will ask one more time, please smash that subscribe button and the bell button. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. Come on, loads of you watch it. Just hit the thumbs up button. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps with the algorithm on YouTube and helps to push this channel further up the list for people to watch, and that would just make my day. It really would, and make my year. And then the last one is, don't forget the badges are down to £30. They're absolutely, I mean, they were going for 40, then 35, now 30. He's got 20 left. All he wants to do is sell them off, and they're absolutely amazing badges. Contact me on Twitter or via the email addresses below and secure yours before they go out of stock. 20 left, guys. I will be back tonight on PDP's channel, so please check it out. The Premier League review show is back at last after a full round of fixtures, and we'll also be back Friday night to look ahead to the Leeds game, and then we'll also do a live watch along Saturday afternoon for the game as well. So join me on those 2 occasions. But thank you to everyone for this year. Happy New Year as well. I know I'll say it again, but I all hope you have a lovely 2023. I hope it's silverware in the summer for us. But please stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a great new year. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate it, guys.